What's going on, guys? What's cracking? It's a good day. It's a very good day. We've got some awesome suspension here, let me just go ahead and just show you. Let's roll it. So again, guys, ISC suspension, thank you very much. I've got everything up on the table because down the floor it just sucks. You don't want to look at it there. I opened it on the floor because I couldn't get the camera angle. I wanted unboxing everything, but it comes in a very nice box, and then both sets of coilovers are in separate boxes for the rear and then the front, and then they're bagged in there properly. And then this is what they look like outside of the box, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They're also nice enough to send a nice little care package along too. Now, I'm going to go over a couple details here. So I'm going to start off with what I have and the differences that you can get from ISC and where they're made and what you can do with them. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and go over the coilover some here. We've got front and back, obviously, here. We also have the spanner wrenches, and then we also have the adjustment knobs here too. I do like that they're not actually like built into it itself. Like I can actually remove these if need be. If you've ever been to car shows or a car event, I've had people mess with these and it's quite annoying. I don't really like that. And because you have this, it means you have soft and hard here. You can see on the top, they actually label it also. These are 32-way adjustment dampening. So you can go from soft to hard 32 different ways, which I really like that. On top of this, these are the N1 coilovers. So they have their basics, their N1s, and then they offer a spring upgrade also. Again, I'll list that all down below to make it easy for you. These are their N1s. So these are more of a track-oriented setup spring rate and the dampening itself setup on them. It also has a pillow ball top mount, and they have these beautiful anodized tops on these. Now, for the MK4 Supra, we have a ton of adjustment from the bottom, so we don't have adjustment from the top. Again, we don't need it, so it's not necessary, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. I do dig the gold color. I think it's pretty trick. One other thing I wanted to say, I really like this about ISC. I'm always saying transparency, transparency, transparency. These are made in Taiwan, and they don't hide it. If you buy these, they tell you right up front, these are made in Taiwan. They make sure they quality control check them. They come direct to you, but they are checked and they come directly from Taiwan. I like that they're honest about it, because if we're being honest, they're not the only ones. You know, if you get Megan's, you get BC, you get any of these other companies, 99% of them are all being made in Taiwan. If they're not the really cheapo ones, which we'll go over that's on it right now, are made in China. The quality of these is very nice. I will be honest, the fit and finish is very nice. I should say finished because we haven't fitted them up yet, but they're very nice. The anodizing here is nice. The coils itself, the springs look nice. The machining here on the aluminum is really pretty. Again, it's just very well thought out. Again, it comes with instructions too. And it comes with this. So I've never had this before. This is actually like copper grease. So this is for the shock tube threads, so these don't bind up on you. You can put this on there. I really like that it comes with this. I'm not sure if I'll use it, just for the fact that I'm not going to be tracking this car. This is going to be more of a street car. It's going to have some spirited drives on the back road. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much here. These things are quite impressive, but I want to show you what's on the car now and why we're putting these on. So I have her Supra in the air here, and we can go ahead and see these max pitting rods. Yes, that is what they're called. And just look at this mount here. Look, that is all you have that's holding that together. That screams, hey, I'm gonna wreck. Like that's a bad day. There's barely anything holding that rod on. All that takes is that to snap and you're gonna have a bad day. Now, this is a double wishbone suspension, so the wheel will still stay on and you'll be okay, but you're gonna have some damage to the vehicle and you're not gonna be having a very good day at all. So let's get these off. I gotta lower down the car some, we gotta take the wheel off, and let's start putting on some of this suspension, and let me show you what's on the car then, because it's a joke. Guys, this is almost embarrassing how bad these coilovers I had on before were. This is bad. Let me just show you. This is horrible. So over here we have the beautiful ISC coilovers, and the finish on these things is just amazing. And then we've got, yeah, it's bad. So we'll just start off looking at them here. This is brand new, right? I put them on the car, never drove on them. Never drove on them. Never drove on them, and they're rusting. It has never left my garage, and they're rusting. So this is obviously steel versus a beautiful 6061 billet aluminum. I mean, look at the finish on this. Look at the fitting on the bottom here versus what they supplied. ISC, hot trash. ISC, hot trash. It's just night and day difference. Look at the collars here. Look how nice the finish is on these. Look how much nicer the actual machine work is versus these ones here, which are just not nice at all. Again, look at the anodizing, the finish. And again, over here, not so great. And then we look at the springs, look how much tighter the spring is here. Look how many more coils you get versus over here. And you can see the boot itself isn't doing anything. Your piston's completely exposed versus the dust boot over here actually doing what it's supposed to do. This is completely unacceptable. Like, that is terrible as I kick stuff around. And then we look at the top hats themselves. So the anodizing finish is much nicer here. The machine work here on the edges, look at the edge here. Look how it's like rolled over, it's machined properly. Where this has an abrupt, let's see if it'll focus here. It has an abrupt, sharp edge on it here. See if I can get it to focus on that edge. It won't even focus on it. But it's like a sharp edge, like it dug into the body itself. The threads on this are pretty trash versus these are nice. Pillow ball top mount versus just a rubber. You can see the rubber mount there. Yeah, these are just way, way, way nicer. These are 32-way dampening, no dampening. It's not even remotely close. Not even remotely close. It was stupid of me to even put these things on. I needed something because the shocks in her car were blown. These are terrible. I can't wait to drive this car with these on. These are just the fit finish, the company itself, what they stand behind it. I can't thank ISC again enough. Andrew Wallace over there, brother, thank you, man. So let's get these bolted on and see how they look. So now we've decided to go meh with that. We've got on the beautiful ISC coils now. Look at this. Oh, that fits up in there nice. Look at these. Now, threading these was a lot nicer too. Now, I do have to check, like this is loose up here, so preload looks like it can be adjusted some more. As you see, I need to look into that here some, guys. I got to figure out what I want to set the preload to. I don't want to make it too tight, so trying to figure out, but it is loose, so I got to make sure and then tighten these two collars together. And for adjustment wise for the height, I've almost got it like maxed out right now. So I'm not sure where the car is going to sit. I don't want it, you want enough threads on there. You can see a little eye hole or eyelet. So I believe it's on this side here. So you can see the threads. If you can't see the threads anymore, you've gone too far. You need to be able to see at least the threads in there. If you don't have enough material there. And you want to make sure you do, because if not, you could have a really bad day and you could cause these to break. You don't want to take that chance. So got these on, got it on top too. Looks really good. I'm impressed. Was a lot easier to install. So another thing too, the bushing down here was properly sized. So on these old crappy ones here, this rubber bushing was too narrow. And I had to actually take the lower A-arm there and actually pinch it in some. And it just, yeah, it was not a good time. So I'm glad that's off. I've got 3 more to do yet. So let's go ahead and throw the rest of these on. Before I take off this other side here, I just want to show you guys again how poor quality this is. So here's this. It's just, again, it is literally rusting. I've never driven it. It's rusting already. This is ridiculous. Rusting out in here. You can see the flange on the top is not big enough. You can see it's maxed out to the edge. That could eventually blow out. Terrible design there. Versus on the ISC coils, you can see the top hat has a lot more room. The bushing down here is much better. Let's see if I can get in here a little bit closer. This in here, I can't get in close enough right now because I put the tire back on. Just a lot more room. I can show you more too when I do the rear, but it's just ridiculous how bad these are. I don't know. There's a reason why I am taking them off. Someone else can buy these for dirt cheap. Just one more time, I want to show you, I'm doing the rears now. I want to show you how ridiculous these coils are. This is just dumb at this point. So these old coils are just ridiculous. These ones are starting to rust already too. I forgot to mention, I literally had to drill out these holes because it wouldn't fit the bolts from the factory. So I had to drill these holes out slightly, not very much, but slightly, just to get a bolt through it. Obviously these ones were perfect. My ISCs went on perfectly so far. Like, nothing has given me any problems. If you look back here too, I've got this one on now. I've got to compress it here. You can see it's just hanging right now. I've got to compress this up, son. I've got it maxed out almost too, so we'll see how it looks when it's all said and done. I might have to lower it, but I kind of got these maxed out right now because I just don't want it slammed down on the wheels. So next up, I'm going to drop it. See how it looks. I matched up both sides. Should look good, I would hope. I'm pumped. These should ride 10 times better, perform way better, and do what they're supposed to do. Guys, there's one other thing I wanted to show you here. I got the coilovers all along. You guys saw that. I got everything on. But once I got down on the ground, I'm like, I got these things maxed up on height, and they seem awfully low. Now, the fronts aren't bad. I actually got those adjusted so they're fine. But the rears, it was like slammed. I mean, I had it as high as we go. I made sure I did everything right, and it was low. So I messaged ISC, got a hold of Andrew. I'm like, dude, here's some pictures of the car. I said, this is on factory wheels and tires. Let me take some pictures with my wheel and tire setup on it. Once I put that on, it was literally touching the body. And I'm like, all right, that's not gonna work. I mean, this thing's maxed out and I can't go any higher. What does he do? Boom, right away. Dude, I got some new ones to you right away. Should add about 30 millimeters in length. Actually, it looks like it might be slightly more than that, which is good. You know, I need more room up. I can go way lower if I need to, but literally you can get these things so low that you could literally get the tires off the ground and the chassis would be touching if you needed to. It's insane. So he sent me out new shocks here, so let me show you. So here's the new shock tubes. I need to take off these old ones and replace with this. This is actually quite easy, like really easy. You just spin off this bottom piece first. And the reason I say do this first is it's just easy because it's a flat bottom end, so you can stand this up to get the nut off. Spin this collar off. And once you do that, well, let's go ahead and show you that here. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna set this up. This is gonna be the greatest setup on earth. But all you're gonna do here, guys, is literally, sorry guys. And then you're just gonna spin this lock collar off. Once you've done that, you can start spinning this one off if you want to. I kind of put these two bottom ones off by themselves. What I'm gonna do here next, though, instead, is up top here, you have a 19 millimeter nut, and you pull out this little plug. This is where, down in here is where you can actually adjust your dampening. This is 32-way dampening, guys, remember. Down in here, if I bring it over here just real quick, it takes a 5 millimeter inverted, goes inside of there like so. Before I do that, put this like that. This goes on there like so. This goes on the top of it like that. And then you can break it apart. So I should be able to break this apart now. We'll see. Yep, there we go. Once you get that going, now there's better tools for this. This is a ratcheting wrench and it works, but there's better power tools out there that's actually specific for this. You guys won't have to do this. You usually get your coilovers, won't have to do any of this. I'm just showing you because I want a little bit extra length. Now, again, this is for my situation. You guys might not have this problem. Like, I just need some crazy high height in the back because I like to run a really tall tire. The tire in the back is a Toyo R888 305 35 305 35 18. So it's a very tall tire for a street car, especially for my Supra, which is a small car. Get here, come on. This is where it gets annoying because it gets up high. All right, there, it's coming loose now. Nope, still not loose enough. There it comes. Perfect. Pull that off, like so. So now we'll take this nut off, like that. Come on, put that down there. Then you've got this little washer. You'll take that off, set that off to the side. Then this top hat just slides off also. Now this plastic retainer might not come off with it. It'll be sitting on top of the spring most likely, but in this case it did come off with it. Just sit that down. Next you'll take out the spring itself. And again, this little rubber piece came out with inside of this. Again, that can pop out, not gonna hurt anything. Set that there. And then you have this last little washer here. You're gonna take this and just yank up on it, and it pulls up like that, pulls down, sit that there. And the only thing we got left is these two bottom collars and this plastic piece again. So take that off, and then now, whichever way is the easiest. So in this case, I'm gonna spin it up. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Spinny, spinny, spin. That one's off. And that one's off. Guys, I didn't edit any of that. Well, except I guess the first part there. I dropped this on the table there, so I was scared and I didn't want to show that, but dropped that on the table. I think I nicked it there. Nicked it right there because I was trying to take it off quick, but you saw how easy that was. These bump stops or whatever comes with new ones, so I don't need to reuse that, but I'm not going to talk in this next part. I'm going to show you guys how I reassemble it, and you can see that and speed it up probably 200 or 300%. Now, you guys can see here, I do have a lot of threads exposed. I might not even need this much, but I'm putting on the max setting, and then when I let it down, I'm gonna adjust it more again. Once I get the new wheels and tires for her car, I'll be able to go from there. But I kind of have it on the max out setting just to work on it for now. Okay, so I got the coils on now. Crunched here for time, but it's got a bit of a rake. But again, I maxed it out in the rear on purpose because I wanted to see, so it's max. I mean, it's as high as it'll go. I will never need it this high, but I could probably lower it like a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch, and it'll sit at the height I need. Again, ISC really developed these coils. They are track coils. I mean, the coilovers are designed to do well. These are their N1 versions, so they are track-oriented coilovers. Again, the quality is really good, but let me just show you my car. So the front, great right now. Don't mind the ghetto cable, but look at the gap in the rear. Now, actually, it's probably around factory height right now because the car doesn't sit all that low. And again, once I drive it, it'll settle some, but that's maxed out. And again, once I put a different wheel and tire on it, I think it'll be a lot different. So yeah, again, here's the front. Pull this out of the way here. Yes, the car's wrapped, so don't worry about the paint, but this should be fine here in the front. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Again, that is the highest it will go. Right now, it's plenty fine. If we come over to my personal car here, we've got Colton Supra, obviously. Let's take a look at my personal Supra here. And these are on 18s. You can see I got a decent gap there, so we'll see for sure if it's got enough room, but got a good bit there. I think when I had it down the ground, it looked pretty good to me, so it should be fine. Again, you can see here's my rear, and again, I do leave a good bit of room in the rear of this. The reason for that being when this car squats, it gets close, and you can see here, it's touched a few times. Now these wheels do stick out a little bit further than they should, or I should say the tires. The offset isn't ideal. These are a 10.5 inch wide wheel with a 305/35. It should be a really 11 inch. Ideal would probably be 11.5. I don't like that bulge look. Plus, it gives a little bit more of an unstable feel. From people I've talked to personally, I think it's okay, but yeah, that's the reason why the car's so high. You can see how high this is sitting right now, though. Like, look at that. This one's definitely sitting higher right now, so I should be able to lower it some. In the front should be okay. Again, if I need to, I think I have a little bit more adjustment in the front yet, so I should be good to go, but I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out. I did go ahead and just change dampening on the front of these. I put it on to 5 clicks away from the hardest setting just to test it out, and then I'm gonna bring these with me when I go to take that first test drive. Obviously, as you guys can see, the car doesn't run yet, but you need suspension, you need these kind of things. I didn't want busted coilers on the car. You just don't want cheap stuff when it comes to that. To me, these are not only a comfort thing, but a safety thing. You know, this is what's keeping the car together. Yes, this is a double wishbone suspension setup car, so it has double wishbone, so God forbid the coil would fail, the hub's not going to come off like a McPherson setup would. So having double wishbone is another safety, but you just don't want to take any chances. My lovely wife's going to be driving this, and I don't want to, God forbid something would happen. All right, guys, so down below, check them out. ISC, again, I'll list them right here. Great people to work with. Again, very open, very honest. Andrew and the guys up there, I cannot thank them enough. Can't wait to get these out on the road and test them out. Thank you guys very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.